Now, I know what you're thinking. And the answer is no. I'm not a bandwagon anymore. Believe me, I'll have a story time on that. I was born about 10 miles south of Washington, D.C., in a town called Manassas, Virginia. And I like to stay in touch with my roots there by supporting, among other teams, the Redskins and the Nationals. And if any of you are living under a rock, the Nationals won their first pennant in franchise history. Yay! I'm still a Cubs fan above all else, though, so don't you panic. I'm mainly happy because that means Howie Kendrick will be worth more. Where to start? The Nationals, man, what a story they have had. Do you know, on the date of May 23rd, which happens to be my little brother's birthday, do you know what the odds were that the Nationals would make the postseason at that point in the year? 3%. To make the postseason. They were 12 games under 500. They had no Trey Turner at the time, I think. And they were on the verge of just rebuilding all over again. It was ridiculous. There was no Harper, and just nothing was going right. They were 12 games under 500, and then they started coming back slowly, and they're like, okay, maybe they'll finish above 500, and then they just took off. They soared past the Phillies. They almost caught up to the Braves at one point, and they hosted the wild card game where they beat the Brewers. As a Cubs fan, I am ecstatic that one team, can you see my finger? One team managed to beat both the Brewers and the Cardinals and the Dodgers. They beat all three of the teams that my family hates the most. Like, I can't argue with that. Go Nats. Now, back in the day, I used to really, really follow the Nats, like, in my back, like, 6 or 7 years ago. I used to watch every Nationals game on MLB At Bat. I knew the roster very well. A lot of that roster is still, well, I won't say a lot, but a fair amount of that roster is still there. Mainly the starting pitching. Man, the Nationals have always been a fun team to watch because they've had dynamic players like Bryce Harper, and now they have Juan Soto, who in my opinion is on the track of Bryce Harper, and he's got much less of an ego than Harper does. But the player that's really intrigued me the most is Howie Kendrick. I looked up his stats. He's played 120 games, which is about 75% of the season, which is not enough to get you into league-leading categories such as average. Howie Kendrick's average is like 340. It's ridiculous. He's gotten at least one hit in each game of the NLCS. Like, it's ridiculous. And then you have Gerardo Parra, who is the one excuse I will make to play Baby Shark. I hate that song as much as anyone, but Gerardo Parra and the Nationals fan base makes it work. If you know, you know. Juan Soto has impressed me personally from day one. Like, he has this thing where he steps, like, forward during his swing, and afterwards he kind of stares down the pitcher, which is really intimidating. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you're 19 or 39. That's really intimidating to me. The Nationals pitching during the NLCS, ooh boy. Yankees and Astros better watch out if they can keep that up. 1.5 runs a game. 1 in the first game, none in the second game, 1 in the third game, and then 4 last night. And that's just impressive. I don't care who you are. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Honestly, if I have to choose between the Astros and the Yankees, I want the Nationals to face the Yankees because I feel like they have a better shot beating the Yankees, because the Astros have Cole and Verlander, who are both unstoppable, and Greinke on a good day will give you 7 scoreless. But it's really nice to see the Nationals make a World Series, because as a Cubs fan, and I view this in any sport, I love seeing teams break droughts. It's just so nice to see. I feel like American sports has broken a lot of droughts in the last 10, 15 years or so. The Red Sox broke their curse. The Cubs broke their curse. The Cleveland Cavaliers broke the curse for the whole city. I think Miami had one down there before LeBron went there too. The Capitals just Was it last year or 2 years ago? I don't know. It seems like forever ago. But the Capitals broke the DC curse and won their title. Now the Nationals have a shot to win one too. Eat your heart out, Boston. But it's always nice to see, especially a team like this. Nobody could have predicted that. That's the thing about the MLB. Out of all sports, the MLB is the hardest to predict. Because you throw everything out the window once October hits. Look at the Nationals. They steamrolled the Cardinals. They beat the Dodgers in 5 games where the Dodgers had the advantage. And they came back in a wild card game that they probably shouldn't have won. But they did. Like, no, I don't think even the best sports writers or the best analysts could have predicted this. Like, that, I love seeing teams beat the odds. The Cubs have beat the odds a couple times, but the Nationals, they finally got their shot. Because I remember watching that playoff series back in 2012. It was Giants-Nationals, and I remember, I think Game 4 went into 18 innings. I think I went to bed in, like, the 15th, because I was, like, 11 at the time. My mom made me go to bed, but that was a pretty heartbreaking loss, and it sucked to see the Nationals keep losing in the division round, but not only did they make it to the NLCS, they swept it. They swept the Cardinals, which makes me super, super happy because I hate the Cardinals. But one of the things about this that makes me happiest is Davie Martinez. He was a Cubs bench coach. This is his 2nd year managing the Nationals, and he has not had a ton to work with, but he has done a great job. And the best part, he had heart surgery a month ago. Not even a month ago. What's today? The 16th? He had heart surgery less than 4 weeks ago. And he's managing a World Series team. That is absolutely ridiculous. This feels like a sports movie that I'm watching, because I'm sitting through the trophy presentation last night and I'm feeling like this doesn't feel real. This feels like a movie. Because that's what it is. DC has been waiting for a good baseball team for 80 years. There hasn't been a World Series played in Washington, D.C. since the 30s. That's ridiculous. Even the Cubs had a World Series within 70 years. But I am super, super happy for the Nationals, because I love my Cubs more than anything in the world. But I always have a spot in my heart for my D.C. teams, and the Nationals are one of them. This is outdated, I know. But Bryce Harper said himself, we're going to bring a title back to D.C. in his first interview as a Philly on the field. So that was pretty cool. And it's his birthday today. And I think the Nationals got the trophy presented to them after midnight. So technically, Bryce Harper had to watch his old team win the pennant on his birthday. That seems very, very fitting that he turned down a $300 million offer and ended up sitting down during October, which is just poetic justice to me. But yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun watching this World Series. I've got a bunch of old family friends from DC that I text with. I've been texting with the whole playoffs. They're super happy. I'm really happy for them because I wasn't sure if they were going to see a Nationals World Series in their lifetime. The Nationals are not even close to done. Like, they're going to have a long road ahead of them in the World Series no matter which team they face. But if they pitch like they did in that series just last night, they've got a shot. Bold prediction, no matter who wins the World Series, it's going to go at least 6 games. I think the Nationals can have a good World Series. Crap, if the Dodgers and Kershaw can't win a World Series, let alone a division series, and the Nationals can beat them, and the Nationals beat the Dodgers, so they have a chance. You can never count out a World Series team no matter which league they're from, because they have to fight all season and all postseason, and they have to beat the best of the best to get to the World Series. And especially for the Nationals with the odds that they faced and all they faced some bad injuries. Trey Turner was out for a couple of months. I think Rendon was on the injured list for a little bit. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. But they've had some key injuries in key places, and they've had guys step up, especially Gerardo Parra, the Shark Man. So there's that. Again, to reiterate, I am not a bandwagon. I'm a DC boy, and I'm happy. I can't. I'm happy to see the Nationals go to the World Series. This is not Walgreens. This is Washington. Walgreens is not in the World Series, sports dummies. So get that through your heads. Nationals, thank you for cleaning up the mess that the Cubs made, and thank you for making our division look a little bit more even by beating both the Brewers and the Cardinals. Donalds, I know you're watching. I bet you're angry. I'm super happy that they cleaned up all the teams that I hate and my family hates in like a span of 2 weeks. They cleaned them all up, and that's just awesome. I know content has been a bit dry lately. I'm just waiting for Luigi's Mansion to come out. I really don't have much planned for this month. Maybe I'll play... I was going to play Classic Mario Kart the other day, but my Nintendo Online subscription expired, and I'm not going to get that renewed until I go to Target and pick up Luigi's Mansion or go wherever to get it, but... I don't know, I'll figure it out. So hopefully I'll get another video up in the next few days. Thank you for listening to me rant about my other baseball team that's not the Cubs, and I hope you will join me for my future content. Bye-bye.